Have you ever wondered why Australians call these and these Textas? There's a reason why, and that reason is because we have a brand called Texta. It is a stationery brand. They sell markers, permanent markers, crayons, pencils, all different things. And recently they updated their logo from that to this. And what I wanted to do today is show you a little bit about them. So welcome to Sunshine Art and Drawing. Here I'm just going to be swatching some old Textas. These are called Texta Colour Stubbies. They are a permanent marker. These next ones are called Texta Laser Markers. And they are kind of like a standard everyday water-based felt tip type marker. They're very, very fine, which is really handy for doing details. And the colours come out really nice, but they are water-based, so if they get wet in any way, the ink will run, and they're really difficult to blend together. So if you try to blend them together, it might go through the paper or the paper might tear. I've also grabbed a pack of these Zoom crayons. They're kind of like twist crayons. They're very, very nice and very smooth. They come in a nice handy little box. And as you can see, they just twist up from the bottom. Very similar to the twisting crayons that you can get from Crayola. But they're just a little bit thicker and they seem a bit more sturdy. So I'm just showing you sort of a dark swatch and a light swatch with those as well. And then what we'll do is we'll test a little bit of water on those laser markers that are in the middle just to see how they turn out. So I've just got a little water brush there and I'm just adding a little bit of water to each one of those little swatches, and I put a little bit on each one of the permanent markers and they didn't move, and the crayons didn't move either, but the water-based markers did. They kind of moved a little bit. And here I'm just showing you how it doesn't really go through the page, except for the permanent markers. And you will find that permanent markers do go through the page. There's not really a lot you can do about that. Permanent markers usually will go through paper, but the Zoom and the laser did not go through the page at all. So I'm just showing you that there. And I'm just going to show you down the bottom here, if you're blending them, they do blend a little bit, but they do sort of start to go through the paper if you are blending them quite heavily together, or if you're trying to go over the same area a bunch of times. And they have a super handy pouch to pop them away and a nice little hook on the end to hang them up. But here I want to show you how you can use them for something like bullet journaling. They are very handy and very fine tipped, so you can use them for writing and highlighting, for doing anything you need to do in bullet journaling. This is just a little test page just to show you how it would turn out, but they work just as well as any fine tip marker, and they're not too expensive. They come in bright and cheerful colours. The very pale colours like the yellow and the pink are kind of highlighter in nature, so they're very bright and you can pop them over the top of, say, like something you've written in pen just to highlight it and make it look a bit more sort of stand out. And now I've finished my little bullet journaling page and you can kind of see how I'm doing that there. I wanted to just do a bit of abstract art and use all of the Textas that I have. So here I'm starting off with these really chunky, stubby markers, and the next I'm going to be doing just a little bit in some crayon and a bit more in these really stubby markers. They are permanent, so they have that nice permanent smell that people seem to like, and I'm also just putting in a little bit of details just with that really fine little marker. So you can see that you can do lots of little details. You can draw over the top of each other and you don't have any issues there. And you can also colour over the top with the Zoom crayons over the top of the marker, and they don't move or budge. You don't have any smudging. It's really good. And I was just being really abstract with this, so not trying in any way to draw something that was realistic, just lots of colours and shapes and everything like that. I just wanted to show you these Textas. They are a favourite of mine, so if you ever hear me mention the word Texta, I really just mean any kind of like water-based marker or a sort of permanent marker, pretty much anything that is filled with ink and has a felt tip on the end. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching and have a sunshiny day.